Hello and welcome to Front Page Film Studio. My name is David Vandy and I am your host for today. And in today's program, we'll be talking to a group of wonderful gentlemen. They are from the northern province of Sierra Leone in a wonderful town called Yonibana. And they have an organization called Yusa that is based here in the United States. So they are going to be my guest for today. We'll be talking about Yusa. What exactly is Yusa? What have they done? What do they intend to do? How many people do they intend to bring into this organization? So stay tuned. This is Front Page Film Studio. Now to our guests for today. Let me start off by introducing the panel. We have as the president, Mr. Samuel B. Kuroma. Welcome to Front Page Film Studio.
Thank you.
And the vice president is Mr. Musa Bangura. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Nice
Interestingly, Mr. Musa Bangura happens to be my former teacher. So it is very interesting for the students to be asking the teacher questions. Normally it's the other way around, right?
Thank you.
And the treasurer is Ibrahim Kamara, Mr. Ibrahim Kamara.
Thank you.
He's the treasurer.
Thank you very much.
And Mr. Abdul Kamara, popularly known as Olympic. Yeah, popularly known as Olympic, Mr. Abdul
Nice
Kamara. We'll be talking about that Olympic later on.
Okay.
We'll come to that. And the social secretary is Mr. Salu S. Fuller. Mr. Fuller is on the far end there.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. And finally, we have Mr. Patrick E. Kamara, who is a member of the team.
Thank you.
And I believe you are a very powerful team player. That is why when the executive is moving, they move with somebody who happens to be a very powerful team player. All right. Well, let me start off with you, Mr. President. The first question I'm going to ask you, I'm sure you're not expecting it. But when I look at this panel, the panel seems to be very, very gender biased. Are you trying to tell me that there are no women in Yonibana?
No, we're not trying to say that.
Okay.
Of course, our public relations officer is a female.
Okay.
Unfortunately, she cannot be here today because she's tied up with other things.
All right.
But we have our blessings.
All right. Well, no, at least that answers, because I'm sure the women out there will definitely be asking questions. Are there just men in Yonibana? We don't have women. Well, that has been taken care of. Okay.
I just want to say the founder vice president was also a female.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's good.
good.
That's good. And I'm happy for that. Now, let us come to the group itself. Yusa. What is the meaning of Yusa, Mr. President?
Well, Yusa simply means Yoni people in the United States of America.
Yoni people in the United States of America.
America.
Beautiful. I like it.
Yes.
I like it. And so, if it is Yoni in the United States, what is the connection with Yoni people in the United States and Yoni Bana people back home in Sierra Leone, Mr. Vice President?
Thank you. When we formed this organization, we have so many things we're looking at. Yoni in the United States means we have a lot of interest for our people in Sierra Leone and Yoni chiefdom in particular. So this means whatever we do here is to help our people in Yoni chiefdom. These are some of our thinking. That's why we call it Yoni Yusa. We are here in the United States, but all our heart and thought is to help us here and help our people in Yoni chiefdom.
Okay.
Okay, action.
That was well said. It was well said. But as we go into this one, I first of all want to know, how did this come about? Where did this thought come about creating Yoni in USA?
As Mr. Bangura said, actually it is a group of us from Yonibana that sat, who've been talking, brainstorming about what we can do, for our people. Like the president, he always believes that individually, any of us can help our own family members. But what can we do to help others that are from Yonibana? As a result, this thinking kept growing, and finally we decided to call each other and form this group called Yusa.
Okay, all right. And obviously, when you form,
if I can just add to that.
yes, Mr. Bangura.
While we're thinking about we must not forget about our former president, Mr. Victor Kabia, because I could remember he called me and talked to me about the initiation of this Yusa group, this wonderful group. So he is not our president right now, but he was a pioneer to play a very big role to bring us where we are today.
To bring us where you are today. Okay. And when you form an organization like this, definitely you have a mission to accomplish. You have a goal to reach, right? So if I can ask, let me come to you, Mr. Abdul Kamara. What is the mission of this organization? What are your intended goals? What are you looking forward to?
The idea behind forming this organization is to see how best some of us that are fortunate to be here, to see how we are going to be able to help people back home who are struggling, who find it very difficult to sustain their lives. We are not quite all right here, but I mean, to measure up, we are by far better. So we thought it wise to put ourselves together and see how best we can help them economically, educationally, when you talk about that, because our children, our younger brothers, our people in general are struggling, are languishing. So we thought it wise to come up together and form this organization as a stepping stone to see how best we'll be able to help them.
Okay. Anybody wants to add anything else to that? Yes, Mr. Kamara.
To sum it up, is actually for us to contribute to the social, economic, technological development of our village as much as we can. So that is what we are. As
Well, I, you know, interestingly, I don't look at Yonibana as a village. I look at Yonibana as a whole town. I don't know what you think, but to me, Yonibana is a whole town by itself, because that name is powerful in Sierra Leone.
That is true.
Just to add to that also.
Yes, sir.
We are talking of the chiefdom, the Yoni chiefdom.
Yoni chiefdom itself.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's
Okay.
what we are dealing with.
All right. Well, you are watching Front Page Film Studio, and in our program today we have guests from Yonibana, and their organization is called Yusa, Yoni People in the United States of America. My name is David Vandy, and this is Front Page Film Studio. Don't go away. We take a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue talking to our guests.
Hi, this season is here for your professional film job at the Front Page Film Studio. They have the professionalism and the excellence along with the experience to make your next project a success. Pick up the phone today and give them a call at the Front Page Film Studio.
Welcome back to Front Page Film Studio, and I am David Vandy. My guests today are the people of the organization called Yusa, Yoni People in the United States of America. Just before we went on break, we were talking about the mission of this group, and I'm sure there's a lot more you guys are looking forward to doing or are doing that we cannot just corner to one area. So if I can come over to you, Mr. Salu Fula, can you just elaborate on that a little bit more? I'm sure even here in the United States, there's a lot of things you do.
The reason why we start this organization is to bring all of us together for a common purpose. And the purpose is to help ourselves here as well as our people in Yoni. For example, this organization has helped us so much that we can understand each other. Okay. Before we started this organization, I knew this man, but I never saw him in the United States, Mr. Ibrahim Kamara. I never knew Mr. Musa Bangura, but this organization make it possible for us to meet together and work together for the benefit of our people back home. And also this organization, since its inception, we have done a couple of things which was really because we had some aims. The aim of this organization is to help our people back home in education, in agriculture, in social affairs. I mean, you name it, you see. So this is why we started this organization, and we have gone a little bit far. In the Onibana Secondary School, we have sent a generator for the school so that they can look at some movies like Macbeth, you know, or some other modern technological films which can help to promote their education.
All right. Okay. That is a very good explanation. But I think there's more to that, because in as much as like the president was saying, if even you are helping people out there, what is the mission of this organization to you here in the United States? What does the organization mean to you here?
Well, if I just can add to that, you know, within the United States, this is our biggest support group.
Okay.
We support one another during periods of joy, and of course, when someone is in trouble, you know, we get together to support them. For a long time, most of us did not have a relationship, you know, but with the formation of this organization, it has been traditional for us to meet once a month, in someone's home. So we know each and every other person's home. We know their, children, their wives, and from time to time, we engage in social functions that bring us together.
I know that with an organization like this, as you're meeting here, you said you've been together for how long? In 2006.
My 2006.
Okay, 2006. Yeah. So I'm sure from that time to now, within this period from 2006 to now, I'm sure you've done some stuff. You've done some things here in the States and back home, like as you profess to, this organization is to help the people there through education, like Mr. Kumar talking about technology, which is the order of the day today. When we were going to school, it was very difficult for us to know what a computer is, you know, but the children of today, computer is, they should have it up here. Because anywhere you go, the world is becoming a computer world right now. Or it has already become a computer world. So what have this organization done so far? Let me start off with you.
Since this organization started, we've actually done 3 projects. As the social secretary first mentioned it, the very first project was even conveyed by the founder vice president, Madam Beatrice Conte, who is not with us. Madam Beatrice, on behalf of the organization, took a whole bunch of stuff, which included an electric generator to the Onibana Secondary School, a deep freezer, which was also bought for the school, as sometimes water can be an issue in the area. We negotiated for supply of water wherein this water could be cooled in the freezer for the students to have something to drink during their breaks. We also provided some educational materials at that time. The second project we did was we supplied some sports gears for the 5 secondary schools in the chiefdom. Each secondary school was supplied with 15 soccer kits plus 5 soccer balls for each school. I, a matter of fact, took that consignment, presented it to the schools. This was 3 years ago.
So if I may come in,
with a trophy.
With a trophy.
Yeah, with
so
a
if
trophy.
I may come in there, then it means we're looking forward to a soccer team from Onibana very shortly.
That is correct. That's correct. Not necessarily students attending schools in Yonibana,
Okay.
in Yoni Chiefdom. But as a member of the organization, if you have a family member who is in a university and high school anywhere in the country, the scholarship
As long as you're a product of
As long
Yoni.
as you're a product of Yoni.
All
Yeah,
right.
this
Now,
happened in this.
now I see why when the team of executive is moving, they move along with somebody like this. They might, okay, he's well informed. And yes, Mr. Kamara, my next question is going to come to you.
Well,
but just say
in
something.
addition to what Mr. Kamara said, also when when Beatrice went during the first trip, when we made our first donation, we also undertook a venture to paint the entire secondary school, the Yonibana Secondary School, and it was something that was very, very much appreciated. You know.
And additionally, we sent sewing machines. You know,
Wow.
to help the home economics
Home and Community Department. Yeah. Yes, Mr.
And one man, another son of Yoni, who was Mr. Victor Kanu, he was a former High Commissioner in England. I think he's deceased right now. He was building a hospital. And then we also contributed handsomely a lot of money for the erection of that hospital.
Of the hospital.
Yes, and then at one time he also advocated in the UN to send some doctors to make inoculation for AIDS to the people of Yoni. And then he called in a meeting. He called us, and we contributed a lot of some money also for the transportation of these doctors from one area to another in Yoni Chiefdom. Thank you.
That is a very good venture, and I think from what we've said here, this organization has really proven that you are really sons and daughters of Yoni, and especially of Sierra Leone, because whatever you do for Yoni, you're doing for a Sierra Leonean. All right, and I really like that.
And I can just add, last but not least,
Yes.
some of the things we have done is to entertain prominent people who come from Yonibana and that region to the United States. We've always made it, a mission to
So
meet
what
with
about
them
us who are
and
not from Yonibana? So that is why I've not been getting these invitations. Oh, I see. So you see, Yusuf, I don't know about you, but I want an invitation to the next function.
We surely get one.
Well, one more.
Okay.
As the president and other members has already highlighted, most of the time, if members are bereaved, like a family member dies, usually we have some contribution to help those members.
Okay.
For the
Yeah, all that is part of what the
Yes,
president
yes,
just
exactly.
said. But now let me come to you, Mr. Ibrahim Kamara. You know, in everything you've been talking about, monies you are giving out, donations, 10,000, lot of money. All right, and some of the stuff that you buy to send out, some of them you get through donations, some of them you buy, obviously, and it's all money, and you have to ship them. So how do you get your funds?
Okay. Well, that's a very good question because, I happen to be the treasurer, so I actually safeguard the funds, and I'm also responsible with the aid of my able financial secretary, who is not here, Mr. Richard Bangura, to collect monies. One, we have different ways of raising funds. One of them, which is the mainstay, is through monthly contributions. We do understand that the monthly contributions are very meager, but for the fact that we are very consistent, we are committed and dedicated, people do pay regularly. So that gives us a stable fund. And secondly, we also try to do some other activities. One of them is an annual activity that we have already undertaken to be a routine regularly every year, which is the outing. Wherein we print T-shirts, we buy them at a discounted price, and people, help us to buy some of those things at a profit. so which we also add. And lastly, sometimes we undertook, there was a time when we undertook a particular program just for education, wherein we taxed ourselves, and we also asked, the assistance of other people for us to raise this fund, wherein we are able to do our scholarship program. And lastly, as I said, when we thought of something, we talk about it and see how can we come up with funds. We've been thinking about water wells, and what did we do was the first president did challenge each and every one of us, wherein we made pledges. So as dedicated people, not only our contributions, we are very selfless in this organization. We give out our money. We really don't have it, but I thank all the able members of the organization who are not here today for their dedication.
Wow. Okay. And you want to add something to that?
I think.
Yes.
Well, just as what you said, what we are looking at again is now we have all this to maximize, but we are also thinking, and in fact, these are some of our present plans to make sure that we're going to have fundraising, which is in the pipeline, and we are looking out to see what we can do to bring more money into the organization. This is just to help us and help those.
Is the organization a non-profit?
It's a
Yes, it is.
It has been registered?
Yes.
So it means you also accept donations from...
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have a website?
It's on the wall.
It's on the wall, because definitely if you
works.
solicit donations, then definitely if the organization has got a website,
It's on the
people want to know what
right.
their monies or their donations that they're giving, they will have to go to the website and check it out.
Exactly.
They don't need to pick up a phone and say, Mr. President, the thing that I gave, what did you do? At least there will be pictures and videos and all this stuff there.
Yeah.
And which is a very
we are
good thing.
working on
Yeah,
that,
it's
and
in
that
the-
will come very soon.
Okay. All
Just
right.
to add to Mr. Kamara again is, I just want people to know that since the inception of this organization, 99% of the funding has come from our pockets. The only 1% that I can say that has
Coming as donation,
coming
as
as
assistance.
donation was the picnic we had last year, and the few donations the president, the former president, has got from the outside. We've not actually done any huge fundraising activity. Hopefully this year we'll get our very first huge fundraising activity.
Well, we're looking forward to that, and I want to be part of that, so at least I can also help do some stuff in Yoni.
We'll surely keep them both.
This is Front Page Film Studio, and our program today we have our special guests from Yonibana, and the group is called Yusa, Yoni People in the United States. Don't go away. When we come back, we touch on the final points of this program. I'm David Van.
This is Fatmata Karoma with Celebrity Health Talk. I'm here at Front Page Film Studio. They're doing a marvelous job recording my show. They do quality work. Please give them a call. It's worth it.
Welcome back to Front Page Film Studio, and I am David Vandy. In the studio today, I have with me members of Yusa, that is the Yoni people in the United States of America. Mr. Samuel Kuruma is the president. Mr. Musa Bangura is the vice president. Ibrahim Kamara is the treasurer. Abdul Olympic Kamara is the secretary general. Mr. Salu Fula is the social secretary, and a strong member of the team, Mr. Patrick E. Kamara. Once again, I want to welcome you again, gentlemen. And now, let's crack it up a little bit. Mr. Abdul Kamara, you are called Olympic, popularly known as Olympic. Why do they call you Olympic?
Yes, this name came about when I was a small boy going to, as a founder member of the secondary school in Yonibana.
The Yonibana Secondary School.
I was the youngest and the smallest.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very active in sports.
Okay.
The name came about one day when I returned from holidays. My father bought me a pair of sneakers from Bata in Freetown.
Those days of Bata.
It was in
They call them
the
crepes.
in the sneaker was written Olympic.
Oh.
I came to like this name. And I started writing the name Olympic on all my sneakers, books, and everywhere. And I was having t-shirts that I was even writing the name Olympic on the back.
And
So when we were playing soccer, and I was the captain of the junior team then, everybody came to like the name
Olympic.
and I did not. I had no problem with it.
That is
So that's
impressive.
where the name
And so somebody just come up and say Abdul Kamar. There are lots of Abdul Kamar, but as soon as you say Olympic, they know who you're talking about.
Yes, they know who
That's it. Okay, now let's come back to Yusa. That is, we just want to crack that up a little bit. So let's make it a little light-hearted. I'm sure in this organization you have bylaws.